You ready?
Yep. That's the opening. There it is.
Let me try again. Liam, thoughts?
Okay. One of our dear listeners gave us some feedback and was saying we need to summarize a little more. Um, and I guess not everyone's gonna have read this book. It just came out like a month ago. It's by Matthew Davis. It's a new book and it has all the um it's about a young Jewish man who inherits a lot of money and who tries to sort of figure out how to live after the death of his parents. And it's a very ironic book, very ironic. If you don't get the tone right away, it doesn't make any sense, and you're not going to enjoy it. Once I understood the tone, it was a lot better. And um, he's based in New York. He's friends with all those New York writers um, that are kind of popular right now. I liked it overall. It was pretty good. What did you think?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I'm okay. I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't think there's anything wrong with the book itself. It's something wrong with me. I don't think I like contemporary fiction, like at all.
Mm.
Like I tried reading, is it Zadie Smith? I think that's her name. She
Yeah,
wrote
yeah.
one of my professors, who shall remain nameless, added On Beauty to the curriculum for one of her classes, and we had to read it, and it was so cringe-inducing and just painful that I couldn't read it.
I You should try White Teeth by Zadie Smith. That's the one I know that I liked of hers.
Yeah,
But yeah, I have no idea. I didn't read the that book.
yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just like the tone, or maybe even just the subject matter of contemporary fiction. I just don't like it. I don't know. It does
Mm.
nothing for me. I'm more of a classic sort of guy, but um, I
Yeah,
had a
I
question. Oh,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, where did you find this book? Like,
What I thought I was like,
no, no
okay,
one knows this book or where it came from. I couldn't even find
see,
the. I mean, I found an interview with the author online. I read
yeah,
that. I don't know if you saw that.
um, see if I admit where I saw the book, it's so embarrassing. It's like it's humiliating.
Do it. Where'd you
So
find it?
Red Scare podcast, Dasha posted something about it, and I was like, oh, I've never read any of these writers. Like I've never read Honor Levy or Tao Lin's quoted on the book. I've seen an interview with him. Um, I've never read one of these new uh in that literary scene, and I kind of wanted to. Um, yeah, that's how we came to read it.
Okay. So my qualm, I guess, with the book is that it's actually kind of funny. One of my friends hasn't read a lot of the classics, so I gave him The Catcher in the Rye to read, which is kind of funny, because um, Ross mentions, I think, Salinger in this book. Like he gives his sister, I think it's called Franny and Zoe, is the
Mm,
name of the books.
yeah.
Anyway, my friend was reading Catcher in the Rye, and he's like, "I fucking hate this kid. I want to strangle him." And I was like, uh, kind of relatable because that's kind of how I felt about Ross. Like the whole time I was reading the book, I was like, he's just so insufferable. Which is like, I mean, that could have been the intention of the author, and if it was, then he succeeded. So
Yeah, it does seem like well, he's definitely I mean it's absurdist. It doesn't make any sense. He's like constantly bragging about how his parents left him all this money and how they died and how he's okay with it and like or I don't, it's really it's not a real human. There's no human that's like this on earth. It doesn't make any sense. And there's just a bunch of funny stuff. Okay, but actually before we get off the track of maybe why you didn't like it as much, I there's like a thing in modern writing like autofiction sort of thing, like it's very small kind of, if that makes sense, very narrow. And I feel like is that why you don't like modern fiction as much, or is it?
Because it's like
Uh,
autofiction, and then autofiction doesn't have as broad of a scope. Is that what you
yeah, it
mean?
feels less ambitious. It feels more personal. It's not. There's nothing wrong with that, but it feels like it's not. Well, nothing's Shakespeare, but like Shakespeare sort of like goes out into all these different characters, and he has, there's not really repeating situations exactly. Like the Tempest is very different from the Merchant of Venice or whatever,
Hmm.
and that these autofiction books all kind of have a similar vibe.
Yeah, but it's strange because I really like Hemingway, and I feel like half of his stuff is autofiction,
Yeah, that's a good
essentially.
point.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's mainly tone and the use of diction. Like the language is very simple. It's very contemporary. I mean, in this case, it's ultra contemporary. He's like referencing so much stuff that's, I mean, super contemporary, like cancel
Yeah,
culture
well,
and, um, looks maxing and all this random, random online stuff. Yeah.
right. One of the things that I really enjoyed, which maybe isn't a virtue of the book as a book, but it's all the references are very like I get all the references, and I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed like reading something that I understood that was kind of like he's referencing Harold Bloom
Mm-hmm.
being like curmudgeonly and like looks maxing and all these sort of Zoomer terms, and it was sort of nice to
Yeah, I
have
got
just anything that was like that for us.
Yeah, I mean, I got all the references and I hated myself for it. I was like, I can't believe I know exactly what this guy's fucking talking about. And also just like the incessant um, like supplement use. Like I felt like I felt that was
I love that.
super I felt that was
It's so
super
funny.
like Andrew Huberman and
Yeah,
super contemporary, and I went through a little phase like that where I was like
yeah.
taking ashwagandha and like these testosterone boosting like natural supplements. They
We've
didn't
all
do
been there. We've
shit,
all
by
been
the
there.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I've been there. It's embarrassing. Like I hate to admit it, but yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. So
He keeps
I don't hate the book, like, to be completely honest. Like
yeah,
I thought it was good.
yeah. He keeps referencing the dates of every TV show or movie or book that comes out within the brackets. He's always doing that in every context. Oh, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and there's
Um,
this moment on page 37. It's like meta irony where I think Ross says, "I do hate it when a book is trying to give you some big idea instead of just being a nice story full of imagined debates, Socratic dialogues jammed in for no reason, or when a book has a bunch of hidden symbols that you're supposed to look out for." Or when a book is being all meta, preemptively critiquing itself, half ironically, in an attempt to be smart or self aware or something. Like, I thought that was pretty, like,
that's great.
yeah. And I did find myself laughing out loud at certain points. But yeah, Ross is just, I mean, we read The Sun Also Rises, and you said Brett probably has BPD. I think Ross
Mm,
has like narcissistic personality disorder, just
yeah,
like thinks he's the greatest, like everybody's below him. He's perfect, when obviously his personality is awful. Like he's just
yeah,
insufferable.
yeah. I I guess I mean, sort of hateable protagonists.
Mm,
He fits in that category. Like it's not a
yeah.
you're not really rooting for him.
Yeah. At the same time, this is probably the aspect I hated the most is that I saw a bit of myself in Ross, like
Yes.
my younger self, and I was like, oh God. It was like bringing back PTSD.
Yeah. Sam Harris, like 2232, page 232, Sam Harris meditation app,
Yeah, yeah.
all this stuff. Like I don't know. It's just nice to
Yeah. Oh man, I
get
got
some
every
recent.
reference. I hate that I got every reference.
Um,
Okay, but we didn't even mention like the basically the crux of this novel, which is him trying to get his girlfriend back. That's like a very big
right.
plot point. I mean, that's the main plot point. He does all this stuff, goes on, which I thought was pretty funny. He goes like, instead of moving on or learning from his, like learning his lesson, he goes on like this. He goes on the self improvement journey, but for all the wrong reasons, like as
Mm.
revenge. Like, yeah,
Yeah, and he okay, yeah, yeah, he does that. And I also wanted to ask you about what you felt about sometimes he really does stay trying like he's ironic, and then there's like a paragraph or two where he's very honest,
mm,
and it almost takes out it's a break from that character in a strange way. At the end, he's very like he's trying again, and that's kind of nice, but it's a break in the character. I wondered what you thought about those things, if you notice that at all, or if you think that's a I don't know a weakness.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'd say I really liked the ending. Like the entire time,
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, man, Ross, just be a good person for like 5 minutes, dude. Like, just, um, and then at the very end, he does because I feel like Ross is basically like if like a chronically online redditor like wrote a book, you know, and he's just like completely like pissed off about everything all the time,
yeah. Did you?
and
I
then
love.
he sees normal people who don't give a shit about like any online debates or any garbage
Yeah,
or like, and then he's like in he becomes enlightened because he
yeah.
sees
Those
normies.
yeah those people who have a kid and they're like it's the average age of having a child is what 26. I don't know, maybe 23. I don't remember, but
They said
yeah, he
26, I
doesn't.
think, and they were 25. That's
Yeah. Uh, yeah, and he gets robbed by a long-haired white dude in Brooklyn, and he's like really upset about himself for being racist for not thinking that a white guy could rob him or something.
yeah.
uh, and he's getting robbed, and he's like trying to talk to this guy about how bad the economy is, and he's being forced to rob them. I liked it. Those parts are really funny for me.
Yeah. But also Ross is completely unrelated. Well, aside from like you know the things that I mentioned, he's pretty unrelatable as a. I mean, he's just so ultra rich
Yeah,
and
no, he's
like
something to make fun of. He's not. I don't think he's something to relate. He's like something to point out and be like, "This guy's stupid."
yeah, just mostly awful. But I do like the end how he like he tries to form a semblance of a family after
Right? Yeah,
deciding not to ruin his ex-girlfriend's life. Like
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Why? What did you think about the conversion to Catholicism? Like his sister and the like his almost girlfriend at the end is like they both become Catholic.
yeah, I really don't know what to feel about that. I mean, in terms of Red Scare stuff, isn't like Dasha like converting into Catholicism or tried to? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't. I maybe that's a reference to that. It felt a bit out of place, but I don't know.
I thought it was
There's
interesting because like, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people our age specifically, for some reason, especially guys, I think, are going through some sort of like spiritual crisis, trying to figure out who the fuck they are. Like, so I felt that at least his sister struggling with her faith and you know reading all this stuff about Catholicism and yeah, I thought that was kind of relatable.
yeah, yeah,
Just listening to or like reading his interactions, especially with Laura, it was basically like the playbook of how not to act, not to
right.
behave, especially
Yeah.
towards women. He was just,
Mm.
yeah, super
Lo-
awful.
Laura's the ex-girlfriend who Ross has broken up with in order to teach her a lesson about how
Yeah.
awesome he is.
Yeah, knowing
And
that
it's
she
a
has to stop smoking weed and stop trying to have fun and settle down and get ready for marriage or whatever,
right.
or yeah, just be a trad wife essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what to yeah. It's kind of it's his apartment's on Roosevelt Island,
yeah.
and
Does
he
that
just
island
mentions
exist, by the way?
well, he mentions you can look it up. You can look up his apartment building on he says it in the book, and then I did, and yeah, it exists.
It exists.
Yeah, it's a real island. I think people, yeah, people live there,
Oh, crazy.
which is, yeah, that is crazy. I found a typo on page 60. So whoever publishes this book, hit me up. I want like $1 for this. Page 60, Ross, those aren't normal people. You don't get to have as much money as those people.
Oh, I
Got
missed
it.
that one. I
Got it.
actually got one on page 187.
No, you did it. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
he wrote, it says Cartoon Network instead of Cartoon Network. It's missing
Mm.
an O. So, publisher, who published this? Arcade, you owe me $1.
Arcade. Yeah, it's okay. So I actually know this. I think Arcade is Bruce Wagner, um, or something. I don't know. But it's something new. You know what? I might be getting that wrong. Maybe I'll cut that. I
Mm,
don't know.
page 99 to 100. Um, he says to Laura, "Well, remember, men peak at like 55 and women peak at maybe 22. So really, you ought to lock me down while you still can." And she says, "Thanks. What a terrible thing to say." But like, I actually, I've met, kind of Andrew Tate, sort of incel type dudes that actually kind of think that way, which was kind of crazy. And then there's this one point where Ross is saying like, I know I'm not fun because I don't toke up or drink beer or any of that stuff. And what does he say? Sure, it's fun for a bit to throw the ping pong balls into the cups of beer and then drink the beer or whatever that game is. But isn't it more fun to have a house and a family and a stable career where you can do the same thing every day and don't have to worry about surprises and spontaneity? And she says, "Ross, listen to yourself. You have to respect me and the things I enjoy and how I want to conduct myself. How will this ever work if you can't do that?"
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's just perpetually unable to um see outside himself.
Yeah, and
Uh,
has this like narrow vision that somehow the apex of life is to, I guess, settle down and get married and have kids, which is I mean, how would you say? It is like
well,
a
it's not even that. He just thinks he just like there's a point where he says people aren't smart enough to take their parents' wealth and put it into the S&P 500. He
yeah,
can't. He doesn't see. He doesn't see. He can't see the other people.
yeah, yeah.
Um. Okay, I found where he's getting robbed. And it's so good. Um. Someone says give me your phone. He says, do you need to call someone? They have those Link NYC digital payphones everywhere. They're ridiculous. The city spent 300 million on them, and for what? For homeless people to watch porno? It's disgusting. What? No, I'm robbing you, man. Give me your phone, your watch, your noise canceling wireless headphones. He took out a large gravity knife, which are actually illegal to own in New York City. Okay, okay. Put that away. I'm very young and weak, so you're probably still gonna have a great advantage over me, even if you were unarmed. Okay, I like that more than you. I could tell that right away, but it's not. I love that.
Yeah, no, it's good. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about the book.
I'll say it's a nice first book. It's a good first book. It's not it's I don't know. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I don't think the book any book has to be more than just, a fun thing to read, and it's just that can be what it is. And it's great to I mean to see a young writer and to get the references. I like that. I liked it. It's just interesting that for once it's from like my generation.
mm, yeah, and that was kind of, I guess, my problem maybe with the other contemporary books that I've read. It's is that the writers are really not of my generation. But I thought it was yeah, I thought it was a good first book too. It was fun. It was an easy read. Like I just breezed through it. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
cool.
So
That's the pod.
yeah, give us our money, editors. And
Matthew Davis, if you're
yeah,
listening to this, thanks, dude.
okay. What's uh how's your life? What's up?
My life?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
What, a lot happened?
Quite a bit's happened, I guess. I technically have a third job now. Um, well, I guess I acquired two jobs since our last podcast. So I work as
Dude,
the
that's so unfair. I got one. I got one.
I mean the first two jobs actually don't take that much of my time. Maybe like 5 to 10, maybe 5 to 15 hours a week. Um, so the first job I had was editor for the Journal at York. Um, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Did I just dox myself? Whatever. Uh, editor for a journal, and the second job I just got. I'm teaching assistant for BW Pal.
Nice.
Yeah, uh,
Remote.
it's remote. Yeah, a lot of fun. And
So you're actually gonna teach like undergrads or something?
I'm not going to teach anything, but I am going to help grade work and give writing help to students. And I'm also reading all the reading materials and following along in the class as well. So in case like students have questions and I'm basically, and it feels like I'm in the course myself. Like I'm
Mm,
basically getting paid just to like take another university course, and it's sweet.
it's cool.
Yeah, it feels good to like be back kind of in school and everybody's reading and there's a sort of intellectual climate of everyone's trying to boost each other up and um, you know collectively share ideas. It's fun. But then I got my third job and it's just a server at a restaurant, which is I mean it's a nice restaurant and the work isn't too hard, but yeah, dude, I'm busy.
Nice.
Um, yeah, how's life for you?
Not much. Got a job as a barista downtown. Um, yeah,
How's that? What's it like?
it's fun. It's great. It's very busy. It's in the Path in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe should we tell everybody that? Is anyone going to care?
The Path is huge. It's absolutely huge.
Oh,
And
it's
it's
huge.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like half of downtown Toronto is underground. So yeah,
Crazy. I didn't know
yeah. And if someone's planning on murdering me, man, dude, you better watch out because I got a fucking spatula about to or whatever. I don't know. Spoons.
Maybe not kill you, but like find out where you work and tell your employer or something. Send them
No one.
send
No.
them this
You know
episode.
what? I would be flattered if someone was that passionate about this podcast.
Actually, yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. I can't wait till we have a few stalkers, dude. That's when we'll know we made it.
Yeah.
Is this your first time working like a service industry job, like restaurant,
Yeah,
cafe?
basically. I mean, every job has some type of service involved, dealing with customers.
Yeah, but like food service kind of thing.
Mm, yeah, yeah, I guess.
How are you finding it?
It's really fun. It's very busy sometimes, a lot to learn about it. It's like a video game. It's really fun. It's like, if the lids fall below a level, you gotta go put the new lids back in. And then to make the drinks, it's like, do this recipe. I don't know.
Yeah. What's that game called? It's like Cooking Mama or something? That's what it's
Yeah,
like.
it's like mini clip, like, you're that little penguin that works in a cafe.
Yeah. I think the most fun part about the service industry is like kind of working on the team. Like if you have a nice
Oh
team
yeah, that's
and
fun.
like good managers, it's a lot of fun. If you have bad managers, it makes your life hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this team's great. Um, and um, yeah, I don't know. I love my manager. She's great.
Sick. What else is going on in life?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
No?
Oh, my ankle? Is that what
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, that
I
happened. You
rolled my ankle.
rolled your out. That
I
happened.
was I went out. I don't know. There's just, you know what? They're serving. It's very weird to see alcohol in the convenience stores here. So I saw that yesterday. That was
Wait, is that a
crazy.
new thing?
Yeah, they have them in convenience stores.
Crazy.
Yeah, so if you're not from Ontario, you don't know how big a deal that is. Um, what did I do? I went around. acting a little manic, trying to talk Hindi to people. Those dudes on e-bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually, like 2 years ago, all those dudes were Indians, and now they're mainly from Nepal or Bangladesh,
Huh.
which I was very surprised by. There was like talked to like five of them, like three were from Nepal.
Why is that?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I was curious. I was trying to ask them, but I it was a little hard to communicate. And uh, I guess people from India just know that it's not as good a deal to come to Canada now. It's kind of gone around the country.
Hmm.
I assume that's what that is. Uh, I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I've had a few of my immigrant friends, some from the Philippines, some from India, tell me that the Canadian dream is dead.
Yeah, the student visas are already below quota or whatever. Like they lowered the quota, but even now, the student number of student visas are below what is the cap set by the government or whatever. So
Hmm.
that's a lot, and unemployment's pretty high. So yeah,
Yeah. It's rough out here, dude. Wait, so
yeah, yeah.
you were you're buying alcohol at convenience stores and getting drunk and manic in the streets, and that's how you
No,
rolled your
no,
ankle?
no.
That's what it sounded like. What happened?
No, just running around with my friend. So I like acting like I'm 7 years old, and then I'm not seven. I roll my ankle. Uh, it's nice to
Nice.
go out there. It's like the last of the summer is just in September. I was
Mm.
leaving now, so
Yeah, it's starting to get cold over here.
that's yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm part of the working class now, so I was chugging it up with my
You're
fellow
allowed to drink in the streets.
with
And
my fellow. Now I also was helping, like they were just in McDonald's employees who were taking out the garbage, and I was like, hey, we're all brothers in this fight of life, and I picked up a trolley and started like bringing their garbage out.
okay.
Yeah, we're
Karl
trying to
Marx, chill out,
unionize. We're
dude.
trying to unionize McDonald's.
Comrades.
Uh, yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
Nice. Okay, well, anybody who's still listening, thank you for listening. Yeah.
Have a good one.